Welcome to Rotherham SEND Information, Advice and Support Services brief overview of SEN support in mainstream schools. Before we start, please ensure the volume on your device is turned up. This information is about the support that mainstream schools must and should provide for children with special educational needs. All children and young people are entitled to an education that enables them to make progress so that they are able to achieve their best, become confident individuals living fulfilling lives, and make a successful transition into adulthood, whether into employment, further or higher education or training. The Special Educational Needs Code of Practice says schools must use their best endeavours to make sure that a child with SEN gets the support they need. This means doing everything they can to meet children and young people's special educational needs. It also says that schools must ensure that children and young people with SEN engage in activities of the school alongside pupils who do not have SEN, and that schools must have a designated teacher who is responsible for coordinating SEN provision. This person is usually called the SEN coordinator, or SENCO for short. Schools must also inform parents when they're making special educational provision for a child, and publish an SEN information report on their arrangements for the admission of disabled children, the steps being taken to prevent disabled children from being treated less favourably than others, and the facilities provided to enable access to the school for disabled children and their accessibility plan showing how they plan to improve access progressively over time. Every child with special educational needs should have SEN support. This means help that is additional to or different from the support generally given to most of other children the same age. The purpose of SEN support is to help children and young people achieve the outcomes or learning objectives set for them by the school in conjunction with parents and pupils themselves. Every school must publish an SEN information report about the SEN provision the school makes. You can find this on the school's website. You can also ask your child's teacher or the school's special educational needs coordinator for information on the SEN provision made by the school. The local offer, published by Rotherham Local Authority, also sets out what support it expects early years settings, schools and colleges to make for all children and young people with SEN or disabilities. SEN support can take many forms, including a special learning programme for your child, extra help from a teacher or a learning support assistant, making or changing materials and equipment, working with your child in a small group, or observing your child in class or at break and keeping records, helping your child take part in the class activities, and making sure your child has understood things by encouraging them to ask questions and to do something they find difficult, helping other children work with your child or play with them at break time, and supporting your child with physical or personal care such as eating, getting around school safely, toileting needs or dressing. Advice or extra help from specialists such as specialist teachers, educational psychologists and therapists is also part of SEN support. When schools want to call on specialists, they should discuss and agree this with parents first. The SEND Code of Practice says class and subject teachers, supported by the senior leadership team, should make regular assessments of progress for all pupils. These should seek to identify pupils making less than expected progress given their age and individual circumstances. The school should then decide if your child needs SEN support. The school should talk to you and your child about this. If a young person is 16 or older, the school should involve them directly. Sometimes you may be the first to think that your child has some special educational needs. If you think your child may need SEN support, you should talk to your child's teacher or to the special educational needs coordinator. If you're not happy about the support your child has, you can ask to talk to the special needs coordinator or head teacher. You can also speak to Rotherham SENDIASS. Where a pupil is identified as having special educational needs, schools should take action to remove barriers to learning and put effective special educational provision in place. When your child is identified as having SEN, the school should use a graduated approach based on 4 steps. These steps are assess, plan, do, and review. So first let's look at assess. Teaching staff should work with the Special Educational Needs Coordinator to assess your child's needs so that they are given the right support. They should involve you in this and where possible seek your child's views. The SEND Code of Practice says schools should take seriously any concerns raised by a parent. Sometimes school will seek advice from a specialist teacher or a health professional. They should talk to you about this first. Following information from an assessment being gathered, the next step is to create a plan. If the school decides that your child needs SEN support, it must tell you. The school should agree with you the outcomes that will be set, what help will be provided, and a date for the progress to be reviewed. There is no set way of recording a plan. However, in Rotherham, sometimes schools use what's called an SEN support plan. Some schools also use individual education plans or other documents. Following a plan being pulled together, your child's class teacher or subject teacher is usually responsible for the work that is done with your child and should work closely with any teaching assistants or specialist staff involved. The school should tell you who is responsible for the support your child receives. All those who work with your child should be made aware of their needs, the outcome sought, and the support provided, and any teaching strategies or approaches that are required. Now it's time to talk about reviewing the plan. The SEN Code of Practice says schools should meet with parents at least 3 times a year. The school should review your child's progress and the difference that the help your child has been given has made on the date agreed on the plan. You and your child should be involved in the review and in the planning of the next steps. If your child has not responded to the help they were given, the review should decide what can be done next. This may include more or different help. Sometimes it helps to involve other professionals to investigate the difficulties or to plan the next steps. You and the school can look at the local offer to see what support should be available that could help achieve your child's outcomes. Sometimes the next step may be to ask the local authority for an EHC needs assessment. If the school decides to do this, they must tell you. If you think it is needed, you can ask for it yourself. You can find out more about SEN support by looking at the SEN information report on the school website, or talking to your child's class teacher or the special educational needs coordinator. Try looking on the local offer website or reading Chapter 6 of the SEN Code of Practice. You can also get in touch with Rotherham SENDIASS, who can give you information about SEN support, including information about SEN funding. We can help you with advice about what to do if you're not happy with the support your school is providing, or information about other organisations, support groups and information services that could help. We also provide information and advice about your rights to request an EHC needs assessment if you feel this is needed.